Man, another fight, another incredible finish. How are you feeling right now?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling really, really good, man. So I knew what I was walking into. I knew what type of fighter I had in front of me. So I was cool, calm, and collected, and it got me the victory. And I'm super happy about this because he's a very tough guy. Like he's super, super tough. So it's a big notch under my belt that I was able to stop him.
Well, I mean, all week he was saying, who have you beat? You've now beaten him, and it sounds like you're very proud of that fact. And he is a tough opponent. Did you know the route to victory was going to be counters like that?
I knew it was. I knew it was just me, just being me. I knew that we train, like the way we train is like to beat me. That's literally how we train. It's like we train like my weakest part extensively, so I'm not afraid to go in there and do what I do. That's the biggest thing, and that's like what we train all the time. So I was very confident walking in. I already knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to do what like almost every other fighter wants to do against me. So I just had the same game plan every single time, but I was able to do what I wanted to do, with a lot more confidence. But also at the same time, he was going around saying like, who have I beat? Now he's one of those numbers. So like I said in the last press conference, it's going to come and bite him in the butt, and it did. He was looking too much into my hype, and he was too much looking into the hype, and didn't really take account of my skills. So it kind of had that to pay for. But all love, all respect to that guy, man, because he's tough, and I knew what I had in front of me.
If you keep getting finishes like this, so far every time you've been in front of us, you kept your feet on the ground, you're a pretty chill guy, but if you keep getting finishes like this, you're going to get plaudits, and you're going to get a rocket ship strapped to your back and sent to the moon. You're a fight fan, you know Teddy Atlas, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
He is like your new biggest fan, dude.
Oh man, dude, that's actually pretty amazing, man. Because I love hearing him in the corner. He was with Timothy Bradley going, "We're firemen, we're fucking firemen." Oh, dude, I love that, man. I love when he goes out there and talks, man. So hey, that's a big thing to me.
Just to read some of his tweets about you, he's tweeted about you a bunch watching your fight. He said you should be called the Terminator, steely, cold, and calculating, calm in the eye of the storm, make that ice cold. Wow. Yanez gives you nothing but takes everything. I'm a fan. I'm so glad I did not miss seeing Yanez. Special.
Thank you, man. That's actually pretty badass because I was
Atlas, dude.
Every single time I would walk back to my corner, because he said collected, calm, and collected. That's every single time I was walking back to my corner, I was saying cool, calm, and collected. Cool, calm, and collected. I'd get to my coach and be like, hey, I'm not even tired. Like, I'm not breathing hard. And so to me, like, he notices all that. That to me, that brings joy to my heart, man, because I'm a big boxing fan and all that. So just to hear him just talking about it, that's amazing to me.
That's awesome, dude. You said on the broadcast you have a date in mind, you have an opponent in mind. Tell us.
Dude, yeah. Nathan Maness, he called me out, man. If he has a fight booked, and my bad, I want that fight for Houston because he called me out, So I just he called me out, so I'm calling him back out so we can get this fight up and going. I want that fight. He called me the slow burn, and there's no slow burn about me. He's calling me a slow burn. He's about to get cooked, So that's the biggest thing, man. Like I said, man, he called me out. It's hard for me to try to keep my calm because I'm because back in the day, someone would call you out, you'd be like, nah, let's go right now. So I had that moment where I was like, at the moment we called me out, I was like, let's go. But I had already signed to fight Gustavo Lopez. I've been signed to fight Gustavo Lopez since November. So I've been having to think about Gustavo this whole entire time, and also have the back of my mind that Nathan called me out. I need to get through this fight so I can call him out, just so I can make sure I don't look like I'm running away from this guy. I got to make sure I'm up in front and center that I want to call him out. As soon as I get the knockout, I'm calling him out.
Yes, man. Congrats, mate.
Thank you.
It was your 5th consecutive win. So what's next for you?
Man, hopefully Nathan Maness, man. Hopefully I get that fight. It's May 17th, the Houston card, right? Or is it May 16th for Toyota Center? May 15th? May 5th?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that date. Yeah, I'm up for that date. So yeah, if we can get that set up for May, like in Houston, man, I would love to fight in the UFC at the Toyota Center, and in my hometown where I would tell my dad that's exactly where I want to fight, in the UFC. So that's exactly what I want next.
Do you have a Hispanic heritage? I'm assuming that.
Yes, my mother came from Mexico. Like my whole mother's side is all from Mexico.
How did you push you to be a brawler fighter?
Come again?
How you push you to be a better fighter, to be a brawler?
Oh man, it's the Mexican style, you know. Man, I would always go back and watch Julio Cesar Chavez, like his highlights, and you know, every single time I would watch him, he's always going forward, making a miss. That's exactly what I try to replicate in the cage every single time. Like I want to replicate what he did in the boxing ring over into MMA, walk people down, strike whenever it strikes, and you know, at the same time, whenever I was fighting Gustavo, you know, he brought it a little bit out of me. I was able to walk him down, hit him with hard shots, you know, still walk forward, because a Mexican fighter never takes a step back. They step forward, and that's exactly what I want to be. You know, that's where my mom and their family came from, you know, and it's a really big honor to fight for them. It's a really big honor. Una vez, te quiero mucho, mamá. Te quiero mucho, so I love you.
You got to make sure you get that one in there.
Oh yes.
You know, just going to the side of to boxing, you know, a lot of people always say, oh, well, there's MMA boxing and then there's real boxing. But watching you out there tonight, definitely, and especially hearing what Teddy Atlas said, I think you definitely have made that crossover to show that you have great boxing skills as opposed to just a good MMA striker. Do you think you have some of the best boxing skills in MMA?
Some of the best boxing skills in MMA, yes, for sure. I'm just not that guy that is going to jump over into boxing and try to box a boxer. You know, it's like it's really hard, man. And I hate seeing MMA fighters jumping over into boxing, and then boxers trying to jump over into MMA and do it, because it's just going to get people hurt, man. It's going to get people hurt. But you know, I do believe, especially at the 135 division, that has some of the best boxing in the division, as you can see. You know, and I'm starting to be able to add a little bit more here and there in my fights. You know, I just wasn't throwing the hands; I was throwing kicks. I was setting everything up. Like, so it's just not just my boxing anymore. I think it's turning to be a lot more of a well-rounded stand-up. You know, especially whenever I was working, I didn't want to throw kicks because I didn't want to hurt my ankle, hurt my shin, and have to be limping at work and all that. So I thought about all that. So that's why my hands got so good, because I wasn't really worried about my kicks. But now that I'm able to do it full time, I'm starting to implement everything a lot more and start to be more calm, more calculated, land my kicks, land my strikes here and there. So I'm all around great striker. You know, boxing. You know, my hands a little bit top notch above the average 135. I believe I'm in the top tier, at least like top five. You know, top five in the division for sure, if not top three.
So you wouldn't take one of those celebrity matches if the Paul brothers, one of the Jake Paul, Logan Paul,
oh, yeah,
they're like
6'1", 6'2", so they're out my weight class. You know, if they could find a 135 or a 150 YouTuber that wants to go out there and box, yeah, I'm down. Yeah, especially for $1 million. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'd be a fool not to.
And is it extra special? And I'm sorry if this was already covered earlier. Your opponent came in, was very boastful in the pre-fight stuff, saying what he was going to do. Was it a little extra special to go out there and kind of put an end to the fight how you did?
Yeah, it was. It felt better. It felt great, because like the whole entire time he was saying that he was going to go out there and drown me, and he was actually like in interviews saying that, oh yeah, he wants to walk forward. You know, let him walk forward. Come towards me. And I was like, all right. I obliged him, you know, and you saw what happened. I'm gonna go out there. I'm not gonna hide what I'm gonna do. You know, especially like everybody knows I have great striking. I'm gonna use that to my advantage every single time. I do have my black belt on the ground. You know, I was not afraid to go to the ground with them, but my hands and my feet, everything, my stand-up was working well. So it felt a little bit better, you know, getting that knockout, just to be like, just for him, like talking a lot, saying that who have I fought, you know, and just like I said earlier. You know, you keep saying, who have I fought? You're going to be one of those people that the next opponent is going to be like, who have you fought? So, you know, it came back to bite him in the butt. But like I said, I never overlooked Gustavo. I knew what I had in front of me. He was looking at my hype the whole entire time and not worrying about my skills. So, you know, that was the difference between us. Even whenever we were in the cage, he had smiles. He was smiling. I took that as a tactical thing. He was trying to get me on my game. You can see me. I never not once looked at his face. I looked at his chest the whole entire time, and I kept my cool. I was cool, calm, and collected. Kept my composure. Knew what I had in front of me. I knew I had to be a sniper out there. You know, as Dana White called me in the Contender Series, I had to be a sniper.
And I didn't see, last question, did you guys have any words afterwards? Did he say anything to you afterwards?
Oh, no, man. Like, as soon as he was on the chair, I walked up to him and was like, dude, like, I knew, like, I knew I knew about you before you were in the UFC, man. I know how tough you are. I respect you so much. Like, I respect you a lot because I have seen him. I saw him fight Jose Alday. Like, he's a tough guy. You know, in the second round, I dropped him, and like, I knew what I had in front of him. I dropped him. I knew he's still dangerous because I saw whenever he fought Jose Alday, he got dropped in that fight, still came back and kept fighting. So I studied my fighters. So as soon as I saw him drop, I was like, I need to be calmed down. I can't chase this. I need to relax. I need to pick my spots. And then it happened the way it happened. You know, like everything that I was looking at, everything that was being calculated during the whole entire time. Like the whole entire time I'm in there, I'm calculating everything that he's doing, and it was working. So came out with the knockout. So to me, that was the biggest thing.
Congrats on the victory.
Thank you, sir.